I'm Tim Perkin, and I'll be discussing automated journalism today. So, automated journalism has actually been around since 2006, at least, when Reuters began to generate news stories based on financial data for its website. Reports written by robots were found to be very useful for routine and predictable types of stories, such as sports, weather, and financial reports. These kinds of reports are built off of well-established data that can be used to generate similar types of stories. And since 2006, our development of AI has improved the quality and accessibility of automated journalism, so more and more outlets are adopting this practice. So, to many interested parties, automated journalism represents quite a lot of value. For instance, automated journalists can quickly generate human-readable reports about existing data that might not otherwise exist. For instance, today we can read a report about the daily performance of nearly every stock, or a report about every about anything that happens in the world of sports, so on and so forth. The sheer number of articles we have about these topics might not be possible to produce without artificial intelligence. And AI reduces the routine reporting for journalists, which saves money and frees time for writing bigger stories. So there's many different approaches to generating this kind of news. These can range from just parsing data and filling in existing templates to natural language generation that's designed to create a coherent and appealing narrative. More advanced techniques can involve anything from training the artificial intelligence on a large set of similar articles, or teaching the computers specifically the structure of a kind of news report on a deeper level than just a textual template. Automated journalists must also know how to process and interpret the meaning of the data that they use. In circumstances with unambiguous data, automated journalists can be more accurate than humans. However, sometimes automated journalism is taking information from reports from other sources and is generating a new report. That kind of data can be harder to process and can lead to less accuracy. So the accuracy of automated journalism is highly dependent on exactly what kind of stories are being generated. So in the current time, there's quite a few limitations on automated journalism. First, automated journalists are only as good as the data they consume. If a news generation bot is reliant on financial information, on sports information, if that data is not entered correctly, it could generate a story that doesn't make any sense. And often that means that these stories do need to be reviewed by humans, even for the most consistent, simple bots. Today, automated journalists cannot reason beyond their scope. Unlike humans who have a broad range of understanding of the world around us, a sports story robot may only understand sports in a very limited context, and so would not be able to understand the broader context about what is going on in the story, which means that stories written by automated journalists can sometimes lack perspective or context that a human would not miss. Also, research has suggested that at the current time, people consider articles written by humans to be easier and more pleasant to read. And so automated journalists need to start generating more readable text. So there is a concern about the impact that automated journalism has on journalists. Journalism alleviates the mundane parts of the workload for many journalists, but it also threatens to replace many other journalists who predominantly write the kinds of articles that machines are learning to create. Right now, there is a shift in that area of journalism as people who predominantly write the kinds of stories that are now being written by machines are trying to enter different parts of the industry. Um, so now we have machines taking over creative work. So this leaves us with a few questions. First, how do you predict automated journalism will impact the industry in the future? Second, is automated journalism a suitable replacement for human journalism? If so, in what specific areas? Finally, as machine learning progresses, what are the limits on what automated journalism can do? Thank you.